Hi Stampers, this is Diane Cisneros, and today I am going to try my video camera again. And I made this card just now, and I thought I would go ahead and make a video for you. And this one is the, I used the 4 feathers, and the saying is just because, and that came from A Dozen Thoughts, and the lines are from Gorgeous Grunge. So I'm going to get started with my Whisper White, and that is cut 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I used a piece of crumb cake, and I'm going to work on this piece. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you'll notice I have a stamp on each side. These are the 2 stamps that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use Versamark. And I'm going to go ahead and put some on this Gorgeous Grunge. Let me line this up here so I can see. Now I'm going different widths across. I'm not doing the same all the way across. So okay, so we got that done. And now I'm going to put some Whisper White embossing powder on it. And then I've got my heat gun right here. I'm going to start heating it. And I think, as you can see, magic, we're done. Okay, so that's done. So the next step is going to be my thread. I want to do my linen thread, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use my 4 fingers. I'm going to lay a piece down on my hand and then wrap. I'm going to do a figure 8 around those 2 fingers and then the bottom 2 fingers. And I'm going to kind of open them because I want it bigger. And I'm going to do that probably maybe 5 or 6 times, I guess. I don't know. And then I'm going to just cut it off. Okay, so then I'm going to work it towards the end of my fingers. And take it off. And you can see right there, I'm going to grab all of this and just pull it off. Okay? Okay, now what I've done is I took another piece of thread and just tied a knot around the middle. Okay? So I have some threads that are too long. Now I'm going to separate those threads a little bit, pull them out, because I want them to cover quite a bit of the cardstock. I mean, I want it to take up some space behind the image or the feathers. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my glue gun and I'm going to put some, I'm going to just put some glue right there and then drop it down. Okay? Okay, so we've got the thread on. Now I've taken all 4 feathers from the package, from the stamp box, and I'm putting Versamark on all 4. Because I'm just going to cut these out with the thinlets, and this is on Versamark. And again, I have to go ahead and put some white embossing powder on them. And you can see how that's all covered. So I'm going to go ahead and use a heat gun again. And as you can see, it's bright white. Ready to go. Okay. Now I have to get the big shot. Gone ahead and put the feathers, the feather thinlets on my magnetic platform on the big shot. And I'm going to gently put that down, push it through. And this will cut out 2 of the feathers. And then I'll have to do it again for the second 2. Can you see that? Where are you? Okay. So we have 1 and 2. And now I'm going to go ahead and do that again. So now I have put my big shot away, and I have 2 more feathers that I'm going to punch out here. And these are all 4 done in white embossing powder. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Okay, here's the card I started on, and I have my glue gun over here, hot glue. And I'm going to put the big ones on first. Just put a little glue on the back. And this one may come out a little different. They always do. Let's see. I guess I'll put this one on next. This is a small one. And then the big one. And then 1 more small one. I got to show you what my glue gun does. And then you can write to me and tell me why. Just a minute. This is a fairly new glue gun, and it is very hot. Okay, so this is what my glue gun does. But by the time I'm done with my project, this whole, where is this green? This whole thing will be gone, all leaked out. Now I have a little stand, and I can stand it up or I can lay it down. Either way, it all leaks out. But in case you don't have one of these, all this glue just comes right up. It's like a silicone mat. So I don't have a problem other than the fact that it uses up a lot of glue. Okay, so now I'm going to use this little flower punch, and I'm going to punch out 1 little flower. And I'm going to use a glue dot. I tried using a button, but I didn't have one. I kind of want to keep this monochromatic, all the same color, and that didn't work. Well, let's do it again. There's my flower. I think my glue dots are a little old or maybe dry, so I have trouble getting them off. So there's my flower, just to cover up the end, and then I'm going to use a little white what do you call this? Candy dot to put in the center. Okay, so you can spread these out, make them look nice. And then I'm going to take this little piece of crumb cake and my stamp and my Versamark and stamp Just Because. can't see. Probably not a good idea to put a stamp on both sides. Crooked. Let's take this off so I can see. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to dump some more embossing powder. And I'm going to heat this. We got this all embossed and heated. And now I'm going to take my 1 inch, or a smaller one if you have it, but you need a square punch to get up in here and make a pointed end. It's a little too long. Go up to the point where you can see the white and then come back down, and you should be just right. Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and lay this flat on here. I'm not even going to raise it up. Try to get it centered. And then here's my Whisper White. I'm going to put this on the card. And it is done. So this one here had an extra feather, probably a little extra thread, but you get the idea. This one had 5, this one has 4, but they're both beautiful. I hope you like that, and I will keep practicing, and I'll be back soon.